Well, this is it, the last video in the series. I got into Kingston Friday afternoon and played a good little show in the evening. I wish I recorded the Friday night show there instead of the Saturday noon show, because Friday night was a much better set that I played. Saturday, the one that I posted, is a bit of a short set, and it was so hot out. It was right in the sun, but I always pick that same spot in front of the abandoned building there where nobody can tell me to move along, and that spot's always been good to me, so I play there, but it was right in the sun, and I got hot and sweating and just decided I really wanted to get on the road and head home. It's nice driving down these familiar roads now, and just took my time real slow down Highway 2 from Kingston back to Belleville, and as I drove, the tiredness really set in on me. I'd been pushing through for the past few days, and visiting people gave me good energy to keep going, but this drive home really made me feel tired of the road. It's been a good long trip, but yeah, it is so good to get home. Passing through such familiar places and farmland, little towns. The trip back and forth from Belleville to Kingston, I always thought of it as not a long drive, but a fairly long drive, and now it feels like nothing. After how far I've gone, this last little leg of the trip, I took it slow and took it easy. I was stuck behind the same car for most of the drive, and taking it slow really gave me some time to think about where I've been and how long it's been. 3 months doesn't seem like a very long time, but it's a long enough time. I went just under 10,000 kilometers on this trip, burned through a lot of gas, and saw so many places that it's all a bit of a blur. Now that I'm talking to you from home, it almost feels like I never even left, other than having the kitty cat with me to remind me that it all really did happen. There's this strange feeling coming home that almost feels like I was just here yesterday. It's good to be back, and I know I'll find work soon enough. There's lots of opportunities. I'm starting to think now that I probably won't head out west. That's a lot more driving to do, and there's still plenty of opportunities around here for someone who wants to get up every day. That's the hardest part about having a job, pretty much, is getting up every day. But that's the part that I'm good at. And I'm good at figuring out how to do things. I could always try and get another job doing concrete like I was before, or I could strike off in a different direction and find a new craft to try my hand at. Possibilities are endless. So as I got back closer and closer to home, yeah, the tiredness really set in, but it's so good to see familiar things again everywhere. I drove this stretch dozens, if not hundreds of times, through Napanee and Marysville, Tynedega, and it all pretty much has stayed the same, really. Things don't change much too fast around here. So everything still pretty well looks the exact same. The hardest part about coming back is that it is still hot here. Still feels like summertime. So I'm gonna have to adjust to that. I avoided the worst of it anyways. Got stuck at the train here just on the outside of Belleville. Hardly ever get stuck at the train here, but it made me come to a stop and gave me a minute to sit there and think about where I've been. And it's funny, I used to see a train go by like this, and I would dream about hopping on it and seeing where it goes and going for an adventure, but now being at the tail end of an adventure, I don't think about that anymore. Never have hopped a train before. I've done my fair bit of hitchhiking, but hopping on a train would be a really wild adventure. But those kind of dreams aren't really in my head anymore. It's nice to get back where things are familiar and settle down a little bit. Driving through downtown here, nothing much has changed. It looks just like when I left. And as I got closer to home, passing the fairgrounds, I realized the carnival's in town. They got all these rides set up. But I don't think I'll be making it down to it. I'm pretty tired. I'm just gonna relax for a couple days, get a lot of good sleep, uh, get the kitty cat used to living here. She's already hit it off pretty good with my sister's dog, which is the main thing I was worried about. And yeah, I've got some people to go visit now that I'm home, tell them about my adventures, and all I can really say now at the end of this long series and this long trip is it is so good to be home.